Sure.
I don't know how. There's a color.
Yeah.
Those are military appreciation. 9/11.
Hello and welcome to week 2 of college football here at Devore Stadium. It's the Southwestern Jaguars taking on the College of Canyons Cougars. I'm Bo Fertig alongside my partner Ramon Scott, bringing you today's game on the Cali Photos Network. Both teams coming to this game 1-0. Ramon, just quickly go over last week's game, 10-7 win over Grossmont.
Yeah, and we might see a different game here tonight, especially with Canyons visiting, but it was a defensive stalemate for quite the time, Bo, until Southwestern broke through with that great touchdown in the fourth quarter to take the 10-7 victory. Yards were hard to come by, but not for the officials. Myriad of penalties throughout the game. Grossmont ended up with over 150 yards of penalties, and Southwestern nearly 100 yards of penalties. I think it'll be cleaned up a little bit tonight.
Yeah, and let's talk about some positives. Obviously, Christian Jourdain with a game-winning catch. He had a few drops earlier in that game, but it's nice to see him come through in the clutch when needed in the back of the end zone for the game winner.
Yeah, with Orr throwing that pass to Jourdain, he was covered very, very well, and it was just the break that Southwestern needed right at the end of the game. It seemed like they had momentum on that drive to get into position. It was great coverage, a great play. It made for an exciting night, even though we had it was a little rough around the edges, Bo, considering all those penalties, the 20-minute delay for a blackout we had in the third quarter, but we got through the game, and I think Southwestern was rewarded for the victory. Hats off to Grossmont. Southwestern's going to come in tonight thinking that they will need to improve. I don't want to say drastically, but they're going to need a much, much stronger offensive effort against College of the Canyons, a very, very good club, ranked 7th right now. And, of course, back in 2019, they were in the Southern California Championship game. So, tough opponent here tonight. Southwestern definitely is going to be considered to be in this contest, especially because they're at home. They come in ranked 24th, so maybe Canyons has the slight edge, but home field might even it out a little bit. I don't think we can say that Canyons is a prohibitive favorite here.
Cougars beat Antelope Valley 47-7. Let's look at some stats from Southwestern. Inman started the game, went 14 of 27 for 122, had an interception, had shades of quality play, but also struggled in that first half. And then the sophomore comes in, Stevie Orr, 3 of 9 for 48 yards, 1 pick, 1 touchdown, that game-winning touchdown at the end. How do you see Coach Carberry attack or go about the quarterback situation after week 1's?
I don't think the play is going to necessarily move further down the field than it did in that first half, especially when we saw Inman. Inman was throwing short passes out on the flat, just trying to get the ball to his speedy receivers. We did see effectiveness when they got it to guys like Wright and Jourdain. They combined for over 130 yards of receiving. So I think that that's what we're going to continue to see from Inman. I think a key, Bo, was when they started to get the running game going with Albert Robinson in the second half. He had just 30 yards, but they came at key times just when Southwestern tried and needed to get some balance into their offense, and I think that balance kind of led to, even though we know it was a last-minute drive, I think that's when we saw Southwestern kind of swing the play in their direction.
Inman added 17 yards on the ground off of 8 carries, and Robinson led the way, as you mentioned, 6 carries for 30 yards. And looking at the receiving, Terry Wright led the receiving, 8 receptions for 49 yards. Christian Jourdain, 5 receptions for 88 yards. Rosar, the local kid from Bonita Vista, had a grab for 24 yards. We're going to need to see more from the receiving corps today, a couple more big plays to stay with this high-profile offense of Canyons.
Yeah, if they get into a situation where they're trading scores, they're definitely going to have a little more offense. But don't forget, Bo, Southwestern's defense Look, Grossmont came out here. They didn't maybe necessarily have the strongest offense coming in, but the way Southwestern played the defense, especially in the secondary with the South Bay kids, Jaheim Williams, he had 9 tackles, a pair of sacks, and defended a couple of passes. And, of course, Arnold Escaño, who can forget the play that he made at the end of the game, breaking up the pass that Grossmont was trying to get a game-winning score. So Arnold Escaño, he made a great play, and he was an unheralded hero in that game, no doubt.
And we're going to take a quick break. It is 9/11 in remembrance of the day 20 years ago, and a moment of silence. They were over there. Well, why are you asking then if you were up here? Right next to him. Right next to you. Yeah. What the fuck? I wouldn't want to reset it either. And thank you for staying with us here on Cali Photos Network. I'm Bo Fertig alongside my partner Ramon Scott, bringing you today's action between the Southwestern Jaguars and the Canyons Cougars. Ramon, we talked a little bit pregame about a good offense versus really the strength of the Jaguars is their defense. But before we get into that, we will have our national anthem. And once again, thank you for staying with us here on the Cali Photos Network. I'm Bo Fertig alongside my partner Ramon Scott, bringing you today's action. And if there's anything that could bring this nation together, it's football. We saw back in 2001 when it happened, they took a week off from football, and when football came back, it just seemed like it was rejuvenation and brought energy to everyone. And obviously sports does that for a lot of people, but football just seems to be that one sport to kind of bring us all together with the passion and energy that comes along with the sport. Would you say the same, Ramon?
We've seen so many games already this weekend, a handful of them, at least you and I, I'm sure, and every game's got some tribute, and we heard from Southwestern defensive coordinator Monterez there with some, hopefully you heard it, maybe you didn't, but you know what he was inferring with his tone, talking before the game. And of course, head coach Ed Carberry also shared some words. So they, like many, planned a military appreciation tonight here as we get ready for the captains to take center stage and finally get this game underway. We're running about 5 minutes behind schedule, but I don't think there's any problem here tonight. It's a nice night. It's a little cooler this week, Bo.
Oh, yes, it is. Captains for Southwestern walking out to the center of the midfield. Arnold Ascanio, number 1, number 51, Jace Fuamatu, and number 56, Christian De La Cruz. And for the Cougars, it looks like 3, 4, and 6. Joshua Madison, Colton Davis, the starting quarterback. Tim Wiggins, the receiver. And the big number 70, Jesus Santiste Iban.
Yeah, Bo, so what's going to happen tonight? I think we're going to see, like I said, Canyons is coming in. They're currently ranked 7th. They're coming off a pretty comfortable victory. It was almost a showcase game last week. We got to see what Canyons has in store for us this season. Coming off that championship berth game in 2019. They played Riverside in the championship, and they put up 540 yards last week against Antelope Valley. So
looks like Southwestern will defer, giving the Canyons the ball to start the game. Quarterback Colton Doyle led all SCF quarterbacks last week and did it only in first half of action. 15 of 22 for 298, 3 touchdowns, and also led the team on the ground, 7 rushes for 70 yards and a score, so 4 total touchdowns on the day. They had 3 other quarterbacks come in the second half. All 4 quarterbacks combined for 445 passing yards. So, yes, Doyle is a machine behind snap, but at the same time, you have receivers like Taquan Gilmore, who led the game with 6 receptions for 197 yards, averaging 33 yards per catch. He had 3 touchdowns on the game. He started the game really scoring on the opening drive with a 66-yard touchdown and didn't look back. Some other receivers to note, Akil Andrews, a 6'3" receiver, had 6 receptions for 61 yards, and Calvin Littles had 4 receptions for 29 yards. So handful of receivers got it going for Canyons last game. And obviously we talked about the game-winning touchdown of Jourdain. We're going to need to see some good balance on the offensive side for the Jaguars, and if they want to keep up with the high-profile offense of the Cougars.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Jaguars when they get the ball too. It's not going to be easy on that side either for Southwestern, but let's kick this one off.
Elliott and Gilmore back to receive the kickoff. This is the receiver Gilmore returning it from inside the end zone. Gets past the 25, and we brought down inside the 30, just short of the 30. And that's where the Cougars will start play here at Devore Stadium.
So like I said, Bo, if you're going to try to stop Canyons, at least from what you saw last week, you mentioned Taquan Gilmore. Basically, 2/3 of that passing offense was Colton Doyle to Taquan Gilmore, right? They had 3 touchdowns together, nearly 200 yards passing on just those 6 receptions, even though Andrews also had 6 receptions, and Taquan is number 17 at the bottom of your screen.
Gilmore's the outside receiver, Elliott in the slot, and Doyle behind snap. They love to run this spread offense, and they'll start the game with the handoff. And a tackle for loss. We said that so many times in week 1, and the Jags defense starts it off with a TFL.
Big play in the backfield. It does look like a replay of last weekend. If they could play that sort of D, we're in for a great game.
Zuel got tackled for a 5-yard loss, bringing up a 2nd and 15. Looked like Gabe Acosta got up the field with that tackle for loss. Looked like the defense was drawn offside. It's going to be a free play. Doyle's going to go deep to Gilmore. And broken up nicely right there by the near side corner. But unfortunately, that was a free play, and Canyons will get an extra 5 yards. I want to say that looked like number 5, Jordan Lawson, near side.
Yeah, good look at that one. You called it. Oh, free look there, but a nice play.
Actually, make that Donnell Frazier.
Nice play by Frazier there to break that up.
And Canyons comes out. The spread offense, no running back. Doyle back there by himself, and he'll take off. He had 70 rushing yards in week 1 and picks up 17 for a first down.
That was some very, very good speed right there by Doyle. Really, really good speed compared to what we saw last week. Definitely going to be something they're going to have to look out for, obviously. You talked about 70 yards last week for Doyle. That was a big chunk right there.
Cyrus Zuel is back in the game for the Cougars. Gilmore still lined up, bottom of the screen, the outside receiver. Inside of him is number 2, Calvin Littles. They're spreading this one out. 5 rush for the Jags. Nice spin move right there by Zuel, but he doesn't get much. Looks like he'll be tackled at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Yeah, Savion Williams with an ankle tackle there to get things started to bring the runner down. No gain.
So it looks like Canyons is going to come out. They're going to spread that Jaguars defense as much as possible. Jaguars are going to have to make a decision whether they want to spread out or stay compact in the middle. 2nd and 10. Southwestern wanted movement by Gilmore. They didn't get it as Gilmore comes closer. Escanio covering Gilmore, and the delay of game, so they didn't get the false start, but they did get the delay of game. Looked like Escanio was coming off the edge, and Doyle wasn't sure what he was going to do, and it looks like they might give a timeout to Canyons with 12:46 remaining in the first quarter. Canyons still with the opening drive. So we've seen one big first down from the legs of Doyle. Not much in the passing game so far. But if there's one thing Jaguars are good at, it's defending that pass as we saw, really defending the pass and the run as we saw in week 1.
Yeah, and certainly there's going to be concerns considering that Canyons is a more advanced at this stage than Grossmont was last week. A lot of building for all the teams last week. I don't have any problem with the way Southwestern got it done against Grossmont. We talked about Southwestern maybe trying to have to build things back a little bit to where they expect to be in Grossmont. I think it's proven after last week's game that maybe they are on the improve. A little bit of a tough note in this one this week, Bo, is that Grossmont's game with Orange Coast had to be postponed today, but they're going to go ahead and make that one up. So the good news is that one's been postponed, and they'll play that one on October 9th.
Your near side receiver is going to be Andre Hunt for the Cougars. He's going to be guarded by Escanio. 12:46 still in the first. 2nd and 10 at the 47. Doyle drops back, looks left, and through the hands of Hunt. Great job by the Jaguars secondary. Looked like number 21, Savion Williams, got in front of that pass and deflected it before the ball got to Hunt. Brings up a 3rd and 10 with 12:41 remaining. We mentioned Savion Williams a couple times last week. The freshman out of Lincoln, the local kid. Our first 3rd down of the game. Doyle with a running back in his hip pocket. Jags bring 5. Doyle looks left and throws it out of bounds. Bringing up 4th down. Great coverage by Escanio. Didn't have much separation. Hunt did. And that will bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, great job by the Jaguar defense. They can definitely take a victory out of that one, keeping the Cougars on their side of the field.
And Christian Jourdain with the game-winning catch in week 1 in the back of the end zone, back to receive the punt for the Jaguars. And a live drive punt to Jourdain. He gets the hop, but will not pick it up. And the Cougars will down it inside the 10. And it looks right on the 5. The ball will stop rolling with 12:23 remaining in the first. So good opening stop by the Jaguars defense, only allowing 1 first down. And the Jaguars will start their offensive possession at the 5.
That's a pretty good kick by Ty Morrison, the freshman from Santa Clarita Valencia High. Going to go in the books, Bo, as a 48-yarder.
Morrison was 2 of 4 on field goals, 5 of 6 on extra points. He had a long of 35, so he is their punter and field goal kicker. To the left, to the right for Southwestern, and they will hand it off up the middle. It looks like I was going to say looked like play stopped, but they kept it going as the running back kept his feet moving. Bring up a 2nd and 10. Still 12 minutes left in the first quarter.
Daniel Placencia on the line today. Eric Brendel, part of the Cougars up front. We'll give you more.
Stevie Orr looking near side, doesn't have anything, will tuck it and run. Nice tackle right there by Jordan Thomas, the linebacker, but Orr looks like he'll pick up 6 or 7 to bring up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, call it 3rd and 3 here.
Orr hands the ball off, up the middle, and nothing gained on that run. So 2 runs for no gain. And that will bring up a 4th down for the Jaguars.
Freshman Brian Snoke there for the Cougars. He's from Germany, Bo. Well, without much offense there, field position has switched a little bit on this possession.
And the high punt will hit the 44 and bounce the wrong way for the Jags. They'll down it inside the 40 at the 37, and that's where the Cougars will start their 2nd offensive possession with 10:35 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's going to end up being a 29-yard punt. It's going to give the Cougars the ball at the Jaguar 38, so definitely a scoring chance here on this possession.
Yeah, if you're the Jaguars, you would like to see at least a couple first downs to get your back off the goal line. But Cougars start their 2nd offensive possession inside plus territory. Gilmore near side. The inside receiver is Calvin Littles to the left of Doyle. He'll hand off, or he'll keep it actually. Saw a lane. He'll take advantage of it. Great open field tackle right there by the Jags corner. But nonetheless, Doyle gets the first down now with 2 rushes for 28 yards.
Yeah, great tackle, but great misdirection and a great gain for the Cougars. Half the Jaguars were going the wrong way on that one.
First and 10 at the Jaguars 25. High snap. Doyle brings it in, looks left, spins it over to Little, and nice gang tackle right there. Combination of 25 and look like Jaheim Williams and number 25, Connolly.
Oh, Amir Connolly out of Monte Vista High School getting his number called there. A little bit of a loss.
Brings up a 2nd and 11. 9:30 still in the first. Score remains 0-0. Zuel in Doyle's hip pocket. Zuel will go out in the flats. He'll get the ball. Spin move, unable to get away from the tackle. And a good job by Williams and Donnell for the tackle.
Quickly, Bo, let me give you these Cougars up front. 52, Jonathan Arellano. 54, Cole Smith. 55 is Danny Valenzuela. 75, Donovan Reyes. And 77, Tomas Adams.
3rd and 4 at the Jaguars 19. Little and Gilmore still at the bottom of your screen. 2 receivers you'll need to watch out for the Cougars. Zuel left side of Doyle. Doyle look near side, gets the slant to Gilmore. And Gilmore gets in for the first touchdown of the game. The combo route near side. Little went to the flats. Gilmore on the slant. And a perfectly placed ball by Doyle. And the Cougars get on the board first with 8:32 still in the first.
So that combo comes through just as we alluded to. Watch out for those two. I'm not sure that there was much Southwestern could do once they got the ball into the hands of Taekwon there in that position. Gilmore, the sophomore out of Los Angeles, he was on that 2019 team that made it to the championship game. And, boy, they looked sharp there, getting those yards quickly and getting on the board. Elsewhere, Ventura on top of Mesa, 28-14. They're about midway through the third quarter. Golden West on top of Palomar, 14-0 early in that one. Rustlers beating the Comets by 2 touchdowns just midway through the first quarter, so that's something to keep an eye on the rest of the night. Next week, Southwestern plays Palomar. Here at Devore.
Be the 3rd straight home game for the Jags to open up the season. And this will be brought in at the 1 by the Jaguars. Nice open field tackle by the Cougars. As it looks like number 4, Sean Bryant, cross the 20 to the 21, and that's where the Jaguars will start their second offensive possession. With 8:24 remaining, it's the Cougars 7, Jaguars 0.
Christian De La Cruz also on that Jaguar front, another former Monte Vista Monarch.
Or back in the game. Quick bubble screen through the hands of the receiver. Was it thrown backwards? No, it was a forward pass. Thankfully, because the Cougars defender had a beat on it, that would have been an easy scoop and score.
I don't want to say it was similar to what we saw last week, but when the Jags weren't clicking early, it was merely most of the time a matter of execution against Grossmont, right? The play design was there. Maybe Grossmont rushed Southwestern a little bit into those throws. They're going to see more pressure than that tonight.
2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right for Orr. Orr looks far side and throws it high. Bringing up a 3rd and 10. The safety, Joshua Madison, had a beat on it. That ball was thrown at the chest. That might have been an interception, so well covered by the Cougars defensively, bringing up a 3rd and long.
So on this Cougar defense, Bo, Jonathan Thomas, he was also on that championship team, and he was the leading tackler for the team in 2019.
Orr looks over the middle, rolls left, eludes the first tackler, gets away from the second, stays in bounds initially, but looks like he got pushed out of bounds, ran out of real estate, and that will be Looks like at the 14. So another 3 and out for the Jaguars. And the punt team will come on.
Yeah, and he was chased out there by Dean Miller, 6'6", 225 freshman out of L.A. Cathedral.
8:04 still in the first quarter. The Cougars 7, Jaguars 0. Looks like Littles and Elliott back to receive the punt for the Cougars, standing about the 40 and the 45. And that will be punted out of bounds. Where it went out, it looks like the 34, 35. So the Cougars, once again, starting in plus territory, started that second possession at the 38. Now we'll get better field position at the 35. Not what you want to see if you're the Jaguars.
No, that's a 21-yard punt, and we saw the punting game last week, the punt team by Southwestern, and although McElligott did not have a particularly strong game with his distance, he did a good job placing the ball and keeping Grossmont far enough away, but this isn't going to work tonight.
Gilmore, Elliott, and Littles left to right, near side for the Cougars. Doyle will keep it for his third rushing attempt, and a great open field tackle by the Jaguars. That looks like Sean Bryant of the Jaguars.
It's going to go down as a gain of about 7.
So that's 3 for 35 on the ground for Doyle. He averaged 10 yards a carry in week 1. He's already halfway at his 70-yard mark, but once again, he did all of that damage in the first half. Zuel will go upfield. Doyle has room, a lot of green, and he'll slide inside the 15, call it the 13.
Yeah, but it's just something right now the Jaguars aren't accounting for, right? Yeah, maybe they're getting the coverage downfield and making Doyle take off, but when he does, there's no help.
Yeah, all the receivers cleared out on that one. That was a 15-yard gain. He's halfway to the century mark with only 4 carries. Doyle hands this one off to Zuel, and he'll get to the 10 for a short pickup of 3.
Second down 6, 6:20 to go, first quarter.
Muganda now back in the game for the Cougars. 6:13 and counting here in the first quarter. Doyle gets around the defensive end, and through the hands of his intended receiver, bringing up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I'll give credit on the coverage there to Michael Harrington, who had a pretty big game last week, the Crusader. Speaking of Crusaders, how about C.J. Verdell today? What a game.
Yeah, there were 2 San Diego products on that field. Chris Olave with a dozen receptions for about $150. And C.J. Verdell stole the show with 3 rushing touchdowns. Great game and promising for the Pac-12 after Oregon beat Ohio State 35-28. And was it brought in? No, it was bounced over to his intended receiver, Tim Wiggins, bringing up a 4th and 5 for the Cougars. It looks like the field goal team will come trotting on with 5:59 remaining in the first quarter. Cougars up 7.
Okay, so a field goal try. See what the result is of that, but I'll give a little bit of credit to Southwestern defending a pretty short field on this possession.
Ty Morrison on to kick the, we'll call it 26-yard field goal. Wigington, snap is good, hold is good, and kick is good. And Morrison gives the Cougars a 10-0 lead with 5:55 remaining in the first quarter.
Well, the Jaguars are going to have to maintain a drive, sustain a drive, and move the ball out to at least past midfield and try to stretch out this field a little bit if they're going to keep giving the ball back to Canyons. But I'd say right now that the Canyons is able to limit not only Southwestern. There's no ground game whatsoever, right? So they're going to try to continue possibly to throw those short passes. And, well, maybe we're in a situation where we got to stretch the field a little bit, but they got to get some confidence first. They got to build on some yardage.
Yeah, obviously points would be nice, but sustaining a drive would be even more important at this point. Jaguars' defense is in great shape, but they keep coming on the field after 3 and outs. They're going to get tired really quickly against a team who loves to spread the offense. Looks like Bryant and Jourdain back to receive for Southwestern. And they're going to kick it near side back to Bryant. Sean Bryant crosses the 20, has some space, stumbles, and the best kickoff return of the season, Sean Bryant gets up to the 45. And that's where the Jaguars will start their third possession. Call it the 47. We had one official at the 45, the other at the 47. But Bryant had some space. If he could have kept his feet, he might have had an opportunity to take it to the house.
Credit the springing block there to number 46, Caden Herbert, the sophomore out of Everett, Washington. He's the man that kind of took out two. He took out one and kind of took out, and the Cougar player kind of ran into the other, and that broke it open.
Or back into the game for the Jaguars' third offensive possession with 5:47 remaining in the first quarter. Or will come left, finds a lane. He slides right out the first down marker. Let's see if they give it to him. Nice looking run by Stevie Orr, not necessarily known for his legs, but he's created a couple times running the ball.
Giving the Cougars a little taste of their own medicine, and maybe that's what the Jaguars need to do, just to keep that ball moving, improvise.
And a quarterback that knows how to do just that, Donnie Inman, in for the first time today for the Jags. Make it Jimmy Inman. Inman hands the ball off. Running back bounces to the outside, gets tripped up. And a nice looking run right there by number 39, Matthew Elliott, his first carry on the season.
Okay, so you alluded to it, Bo, before the game about the Jaguars quarterback situation, and here we're seeing, basically running two different quarterbacks into the game, at least on this series.
Elliott, 7-yard gain on the first down run. Stevie Orr back in the game. He'll come near side, toss to Elliott, gets to the edge, looks like he might pick up 1 yard. Far side official has a gain of 1, but near side official says he got out of bounds at the line of scrimmage, so a gain of 0, bringing up a 3rd and 3 with 4:38 remaining in the first quarter. Jaguars going to need to get on the board, already chasing 10.
Well, we know how both teams struggled in third down situations last week, talking about Southwestern and their opponent Grossmont.
And the jumbo package for the Jaguars, first time we've seen this all season. They will ground and pound and look like they will pick up the first down with a 3-yard gain.
Just ran up the back of Placentia and company there to get that necessary yardage.
And Jaguars putting together a nice drive right here. They did pick up the first down, now at the 37 with 4:20 and counting here in the first quarter. Or back in the game for the Jaguars. He'll look far side, get it out in the flats to his receiver. And a gang of Cougars collapse on the receiver, but a nice pickup right there.
Yeah, got it to Jourdain, so let's get it into his hands any way we can. We saw the big play, the big deep touchdown to basically win the game last week, but we know Jourdain is a guy that you just want to get him the ball in some space as well.
That's Jourdain's first reception on the game. Or looks over the middle, has his receiver brought down nicely and will be tackled inside the 10. Looks like Mason Wallace, the 5'9 receiver from Holy Cross out of New Orleans with the first down reception.
Looked as if he was surprised he had the ball in his mitts. He had to use some self-awareness to see exactly where he was in the field. Said, I got to get down the field.
And the Jaguars now in the red zone for the first time today with 3:10 still in the first. Or we'll hand it off to Elliott. Cut back. And Elliott will pick up a couple yards, bringing up a 2nd and goal at the 6.
Talked about building some confidence. We want to come away with some points here, but just 6 yards away from pay dirt.
Yeah, I would think against this Cougars team, this is 4-down territory. Or looks throw it up in the corner and throws it out of bounds. Well defended by the Cougars.
Yeah, I'm not sure the route ever had a chance given the coverage and given the way Orr put that ball up there. I don't think it was going to be caught by the receiver or the defender. I don't know if it was a situation where you just try to throw and make sure only your guy has a chance to come down with it. Nobody had a chance to come down with that.
Christian Jourdain was the intended receiver. He was bracketed. 3rd and goal from the 6, and it looks like
Important
Coach Carberry
here.
didn't like what he saw, so he'll call a timeout with 2:36 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, you figure with 2.5 and you're down 10 points, so you're going to want to try to make sure that this is going to be the key play. Want to come away with those points on this possession, but this is going to be a key play. Take you back to that touchdown, though, Bo, last week. Improbable. I mean, I was calling for a run on the play because Southwestern was moving the ball so well against Grossmont, but the time was right for that call, for that pass. I'm not saying it stunned the Griffins at the time, but that's what the game needed, right? That's what we all needed, some excitement. Like I said, we suffered through a lot of penalties to get some excitement. Grossmont brought us some thrills, too, including that last drive, but can't get over the play that was made at the end of the game by Arnold Descano.
Dorsey and Rosar near side receivers for Southwestern. And Jourdain, the single side receiver on the top of your screen. 3rd and goal from the 6. Elliott in the hip pocket of Stevie Orr, the quarterback. Orr looks towards Jourdain, the jump ball in the corner. Did he bring it in? No. Jourdain was out of bounds. He brought the ball in, but ran out of real estate in the back corner, and it looks like the field goal team will come on. I think the Jaguars just want to get some points right here.
Yeah, credit the coverage there, right? Because the ball had to be thrown a little bit deeper, considering the coverage was tight, and it just ended up being too deep. The ball was actually caught, and I think, right, and brought down, but well out of bounds. He got 2 feet in, all right, 2 feet on the other side of he got 1 foot in, 2 feet. You know what I mean.
Asher Booth on to kick the 23-yard field goal. Booth had a field goal in week 1.
Yeah, this is a chip shot for Booth right after that 51. Was it 51 yards last week, Bo? That Booth kicked that field goal. Coach told us before the game that his range was 55 yards, and I contended that it was about 50 exactly because the ball had barely cleared the crossbar. But this one was boomed right through.
And believe it or not, partner, we have our first flag of the game after seeing 30-plus flags.
What's a flag?
In week 1. At the moment, Booth gets the Jaguars on the board with 2:39 remaining in the first. Still in the opening quarter here. And we have an official coming to the near side to speak with Coach Carberry.
Great hustle.
Yeah, nice gallop right there for a referee. It looks like the penalty occurred after the field goal was made. So the 15 yards will be tacked on to the kickoff for the Jaguars. So Jaguars will hold their 3 points. with 2:29 remaining in this first.
Okay, well, it's always a possibility of an onside kick, right, when you get some extra yardage. Right, did you say it was on?
When I saw the official point towards Southwestern,
Okay.
So it was. So initially, the referee pointed towards Southwestern,
right,
which wouldn't have made much sense because the referee came over
right
to the Southwestern side. It was on the Cougars after the field goal was made, so Southwestern will get plus 15 yards, and they'll kick it off from the 50.
That's all confused me because it was obviously running into the kicker, roughing the kicker. But
well, that would have been, if it was roughing the kicker, it would have been automatic first. So
it was unsportsmanlike.
Yes, that is my guess.
Contact was after, like you said, contact was after the completion of the play. I agree with that, and I just confused me because of the way the referee obviously indicated the wrong direction.
Right,
okay.
Exactly.
It's only the second game for them, too.
Yeah, the ball was cleared out of the end zone, so the Cougars will start their third possession.
I say that, and I'm sure
possession.
most of these officials have already had 5 or 6 games this season at different levels, I'm sure.
Cougars will start their fourth possession at the 25. This is the best position the Jaguars defense has started in. Last 2 possessions for the Cougars, they started on the Jaguars side of the field. See if the Cougars could put together a drive. And the handoff to Zuel. Zuel will get about 4 or 5, bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Cougars.
Yeah, Jace Fuamatu just missed the first contact, but good ankle tackle in there, and it's going to be basically no gain of 4. Sorry about that.
3 receivers at the bottom screen, left to right. It's Gilmore, Elliott, and Littles. Zuel still in the game, hip pocket of Doyle. Doyle goes to a single receiver side, lobs it up, has his intended receiver. Looks like the corner got lost on that far side. I think he was expecting coverage over the top, and it looks like Andre Hunt with the big reception. Biggest play of the game, or biggest gain of the day for either side.
Yeah, Hunt, a sophomore from Lancaster Paraclete, got behind his man, no doubt about it. Made it an easy connection right there with his quarterback.
Yeah, well, the corner just stopped running. I think he felt he had a safety over the top. Looks like the Jaguars, with 1:25 remaining, in zone defense. Quick bubble screen in the flats, back to Hunt. And 2 receptions for Hunt on this drive for the Cougars.
A neat design, and it definitely worked for some yardage there. I'm not saying that the Jaguars were surprised by it, but just ended up being a nice play.
Hunt with the 8-yard reception, bringing up a 2nd and 8. Corners pressing across the field on the receivers. Doyle fakes the handoff, hits Calvin Little for the short gain, but that will move the markers and bring up a first down at the 10.
That was Caden Herbert again with another stop there. Good play. Southwestern read it well that time. Just 30 seconds to go in the first.
Doyle and the Cougars coming out in the spread. Got the defense to jump off sides and hits his man over the middle. Looks like his running back, who lined up wide, Cyrus Zuel, with a 10-yard grab and a touchdown for the Cougars. Looks like they'll decline the offsides penalty.
Yeah, nice diving catch there. I wouldn't say, it was terrible coverage there by David Afaka out of Otay Ranch, but well-thrown ball, solid. Threw a dart right in there on a diving catch. That's a tough play to defend. And a little bit disheartening for Southwestern, considering that they were able to get some points in the quarter, because now you're going to be down 2 scores at the end of the first quarter.
And Morrison's good on the extra point. We do have some flags, a little extracurricular activity once again on special teams. But the Canyons, with 14 seconds still remaining in the opening quarter, up 17-3. And that's what I was talking about on the last Jaguars offensive possession. It's, 3 points is good, but against a team who puts up a lot of points, you'd like to see them put one in the end zone.
For as good as Southwestern was there on that drive, Canyons was just as good, if not better, obviously, getting 7 to the Jags 3.
And that penalty was on the Cougars after the field goal attempt was made. So they'll be 15 yards back after their personal foul call. They'll be kicking from the 20. So Jaguars, who started their last offensive possession at the 45, looks like they'll have a good field position again.
Right. You'd like to be able to take advantage of these 2 penalties, but didn't work out on that last possession. Well, Bo, Mesa College is going down to defeat tonight. Ventura, pretty good ball club, obviously. Ventura ranked number 3 in the state right now, but Ventura 35-14 on top of Mesa. Golden West continuing to lead Palomar 14-0, and they're 5 minutes into the second quarter.
Bryant and Jourdain back to receive the kickoff for the Jaguars. They're standing at the 25. This kick taking place from the 20. And a line drive kick to Bryant off the high bounce will bring it in at the 24. Bryant shakes the first tackle. Jaguars won a face mask and looks like they'll get it. Tackle out an extra 15, it looks like, from the 45, and Jaguars will start in Cougar territory.
Okay, so if they're going to continue to hand you 15 yards every few plays, going to have to take advantage of that.
I see the head official pointing both ways. We'll see how this one comes out. And a personal foul on the Cougars. So Cougars plus 30 yards on the kickoff and after the kickoff. And the Jaguars will start this offensive possession at the 40-yard line of the Cougars with 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
I think that last possession combined with this field position has to give them a little bit of comfortability on this drive.
Or back in the game for the Jags. He looks far side, hits his receiver on the slant. And his receiver, Christian Jourdain, with the 11-yard gain, moves the chains. And that will end the first quarter here at Devore Stadium. It's the Cougars 17, the Jaguars 3 on the Cali Photos Network. And the Jaguars will start the second quarter inside the 30-yard line.
Hey, Bo, you think Canyons knows Jourdain is number 3? They were over there in a hurry. A bunch of white shirts got to him very, very quickly. Still a nice gain, nice play. But I think they're on the lookout. I think they're in the know on Christian. But I think we're seeing a little bit more open, a little bit more freewheeling.
Well, this offense already looks so much better in that opening quarter than they did all 4 quarters of last week. So it's nice to see, obviously, in that second half, Stevie Orr maintained a couple nice drives and finally had that game-winning drive at the end. So I'm sure Coach Carberry and the offensive coordinator felt that the momentum was on Orr's side.
Yeah, I want you kind of put your analyst hat on for a minute, but maybe we can tackle it during this drive, unless we can get a real quick touchdown about Orr playing so much here in the first, whereas last week we saw Inman for a majority of the first half.
I think any quarterback who has a game-winning drive deserves to start the game next week, and that's what Coach Carberry and his coaching staff, I'm sure, believed as well. And the handoff up the middle for a nice 3-yard gain.
Yeah, I've got Julian Salazar of Heart High out of Santa Clarita, 6'2", 230-pound sophomore. We're going to give him a moment. Was in on the stop. Fullerton and Cerritos 7-all. Second quarter. 5 minutes in.
Southwestern's first road game will actually be at Cerritos in a couple weeks. That would be their first road game of the season after starting the 2021 fall season with 3 home games, even though last week wasn't initially planned to be a home game, but because of Grossmont's situation at their home field, Southwestern was fortunate to have their opening season game, or their opening game of the season, at home.
Yeah, and I mentioned to you, Bo, the Griffins game with the Pirates was postponed today. They didn't give an official reason, maybe of some protocols, but like I said, the good news is that they're able to reschedule that game for next month as we see Salazar, the linebacker, heading toward the sideline and now jogging off. One other score of note right now into the first quarter in Riverside, 7-3 over Long Beach. Mentioned the Riverside and Canyons playing in that Southern California Championship in 2019, 68-21 RCC that night.
Elliott behind Orr. Elliott's gotten all the snaps at running back. We didn't see him in week 1. The pressure off the edge. Orr gets driven into the ground. Nice pressure by Vandenburn, the D end of the Cougars.
Yeah, another Heart High product, and he was untouched with a run at the quarterback there, and it forced the pass to be let go quickly. Would have been a tough completion, no doubt. Coverage was fine downfield.
Yeah, at that point, Orr saw Vandenberg coming down quickly, and he just got rid of it as quick as he could. Another pressure off the end, handoff up the middle for a gain of 1, bringing up a 4th and 6 for the Jaguars.
Yeah, it ended up being actually a well-designed play, but it was snuffed out quickly by the Cougars. I think the Jaguars did a nice job. A good call against that package, but the Cougars read it properly.
I think in normal situations, the Jaguars would probably bring on the field goal team, but because of the high-profile offense of the Cougars, offense stays on. 4th and 6, Orr has some green in front of him. Can he get the first down? And it looks like he's tackled just short. And it looks like he'll be a yard short. Great open field tackle by a tandem of Cougars.
Yeah, led by number 29 there, Cole Bullock. Linebacker out of Sierra Canyon, 6 foot, 225-pound freshman. Did the job. It was a race basically to the 20-yard line.
A great job by Orr in stepping up in the pocket. Had no open receivers downfield, tucked it, and really a yard, half yard short of that first down.
Yeah, I'd say the 20. He had to get to about the 19 and a half. Great play by the Cougs.
Doyle looks far side, comes back near side, has a receiver downfield wide open, hits him in stride. Tim Wiggins still on his feet? No. The ball was loose.
It's a big gain. It's a big gain, no doubt about it. It's not a touchdown, but a big play. Definitely some vertical routes going on there, Bo. And I think he had 2 receivers that he could have chose from there, and I'm not sure that the Jaguars were sure in their coverage as well. And that's when we saw Wiggins kind of fly into the open as 2 Jaguars were kind of maybe switching on coverage a little bit deep.
Another big gain through the air, the 59-yard reception from Wiggins. Nice spin move by Zuel. 3 spin moves in a row. and crosses the first down marker. Usually you see one, maybe two, but three.
Hey, I'm hitting the X button. Do we do that still? Is that still a thing?
Yes, that is definitely still a thing. Brings up a first down at the 11-yard line. Zuel showing great footwork with back-to-back-to-back spin moves. Looks like another free play for the Cougars. Doyle in the corner, and that's brought in by Andre Hunt for the 11-yard touchdown.
Well thrown ball. His man was there. But he waited for his man to get open. Had to wait for it a little bit, really, but the coverage really had his back turned to the ball.
12:48 remaining in the first half. And Morrison will look to tack on the extra point. And does. 24-3. Still 12:48 remaining in the second quarter. Third passing touchdown for Doyle, and he's about as good as advertised.
That's why he had the best statistics after the first week. Anyway, I'm not willing to label him the best quarterback currently, but boy, that was such a well-thrown ball.
Yeah, usually you see a back shoulder pass in that situation, but Hunt and Doyle were on the same page. Great. The corner played it well on that far side. He was anticipating a back shoulder pass, but got on the other side of that far side corner, and Doyle has been on point with really every pass up until this point, whether it's been short, medium, or long. Any pass really over 40 yards, he's 2 for 2 on the day. Big gain by Hunt and Wiggins on back-to-back offensive possessions.
Right, because, Bo, right now it's just a matter of not being able to account for one particular man, and that man is, with as well as Doyle is seeing it right now, he's going to be able to find him. So the only solution for Southwestern is, at this point, they're not in a position to trade these scores. They need sustained drives to try to stay in this game in the first half.
Bryant crosses the 20 and steps out of bounds at the 25. It'll be interesting to see who comes on the field for the Jaguars. As far as quarterback, it looks like Stevie Orr will come back in the game with 12:40 remaining in the first half.
Well, I can see what you're saying too, because does Inman kind of give them that maybe a little bit more of a running option that can get those extra yards that you need on those second and third downs to try to keep the drives extended? Southwestern, look, they're showing no signs of wanting to slow down at this point.
Or rolls left, has his receiver. Did he keep his feet in? No. Ran out of real estate near side. That was Christian Jourdain, the intended receiver. The incomplete pass will bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and Bullock was applying pressure and making him roll, making him feel uncomfortable, was not able to get set. Maybe he could have kept that ball in and had a catch near the sideline, but with his momentum carrying him and having to throw basically not even off his back foot, I think he had to jump to get that pass off. But you can see how Southwestern continues to spread. So.
And it looks like a flag from the downfield official indicating a delay game, and looks like they're going to wave the flag. I thought that was a pretty quick delay game myself, but Jourdain and right near side, along with Joaquin Dorsey. Jourdain, the intended receiver, ran into the corner, but the ball was nowhere near the intended receiver, so that will bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Jaguars.
Yeah, just one of those where you can't make a call. There's no real play there. Ball wasn't going to be caught. Maybe there was some kind of contact, but the play wasn't really developed, and pretty okay coverage as well.
Dorsey and Wright, the near side receivers in the slot. Dorsey over the middle, but a nice open field tackle by Cameron Bell. Tackles Dorsey short of the first down. Looks like 2 yards short of the first down, bringing up a 4th and 2. And Jaguars in desperation mode. Are they going to go for it on 4th and 2 at their own 33-yard line, or just try to draw the Cougars off sides? Oh, they're going to snap it up the gut. And it looks like Orr got tackled short of the first down, maybe trying to catch the Cougars defense off balance. Had the initial push, but that front 7 of the Cougars stopped Orr short of the first down.
Okay, Bo, well, it's going to take, obviously, at least 3 more touchdowns to even get back in the game, right? So maybe that every situation at this point, if you're looking at anywhere on a 4th and 3, it's going to be worth taking a shot. That was Brian Snoke again from Paderborn, Germany.
Yeah, he was tied for lead in tackles last week with 5. You know, conventional thinking says they try to draw the defense off sides, and maybe that's what Jaguars were thinking, and Doyle just keeps ripping the ball. Hits his intended receiver on the far side, and that will be another first down for the Cougars. Looks like number 8, that's Slade, the 5'9" freshman out of Arkansas.
Yeah, you know, you see Cougars that actually have their back to the play when the ball is arriving at the receiver. So,
and once again, Doyle draws the line off sides, a free play, and a flag on the far side near the goal line, and maybe a pass interference as well.
It's unraveling a bit for the Jags.
We'll see what the call is. Looks like 2 separate flags on the field. The offsides is declined, and the Cougars will accept a pass interference, bringing up a fresh set of downs for the Cougars with 11:21 remaining in the second quarter. So Doyle in this offense moving with efficiency as they did in week 1. As we mentioned, big numbers out of Doyle, all coming in that first half. And he's doing his damage right here already with 3 passing touchdowns. He had 4 total touchdowns in week 1. 3 passing, 1 rushing. He had about 360 total yards of offense, 298 in the air and 70, so about 368 total yards in the air and on the ground. First down for the Cougars at the 12-yard line. Jaguars going to need to make a big stop here if they want to stay in this game. And a nice run by big number 36. That's Mugande, the running back out of Canada. So a couple international players for this Cougar side.
Number 55, Danny Valenzuela, was leading the way there.
Mugande looked like he was stopped initially at the line of scrimmage, but planted that left foot and got upfield. Now, and for the first time today, Moises Haynes. I formation. Haynes will get the handoff up the middle, and he'll push the pile forward right at the first down marker. Gets brought down at the 2-yard line. And we'll see if they give him the first down.
Yeah, they could. They can get a first. They're going to be just about a foot shy.
And they'll stay in this I formation. Haynes still in the backfield. Doyle will hand off to Haynes up the gut and punches his way in for the touchdown. Haynes with the 2-yard touchdown extends the Cougar lead 30-3 with 10 minutes even remaining in this first half.
Well, the Jaguars took a gamble, giving up a short field.
Yeah, the way the Cougars have been moving the ball, though, you know, very difficult situation to be in if you're the coaching staff of the Jaguars. They'll probably second guess themselves later in the day, but I wouldn't say that was necessarily the wrong move by any means. And Morrison's good on the extra point, bringing the score 31-3 Cougars.
No, you're pretty much just playing a football game now to better yourself and improve yourself and playing on a play-by-play basis.
First rushing touchdown for the Cougars after 3 passing touchdowns by Doyle. He matches his passing touchdowns from week 1 in the first half. He had 3 last week, and now he has 3 this week. To all 3 different receivers, to Gilmore, Zuel, and Hunt. He spread the ball fairly well today, not just relying on one receiver.
Yeah, did a nice job of that last week as well. Cougars looking well worthy of that number 7 ranking right now, if not higher.
And this one is kicked in the end zone. And this one will be brought out to the 25 for the Jaguars.
So yes, the goals might change a little bit moving forward in this contest. You could try to, get 2 scores and keep the Cougars off the board for the rest of the half, but that's the only way you're going to change the complexion of this game.
Or hands it off to Elliott up the middle. And once again, Cougars with a great tackle. That's Jonathan Thomas leading the way for Canyons.
Yeah, we alluded to Thomas, the veteran, out of Chaminade West Hills.
Thomas with the tackle for loss brings up a 2nd and 11 for the Jaguars. Orr rolls near side, hits Jourdain for about a 6-yard gain, bringing up a 3rd and 4. Jourdain and Wright near side. Wright in the slot. Jourdain outside receiver. Wright will go in motion, and false start by the Jaguars will push him back 5 to bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, not what they need, right, when you have a 3rd and 4. And situations like that are difficult enough to come by.
Really up until that point, small victories for the offense. They've done a much better job of not creating or drawing flags, except for that false start right there. I want to say that's the first penalty on the offense here today with 9:22 remaining in the first half. Two receivers to the left, 2 to the right for Orr. Elliott in the hip pocket. Orr looks over the middle, has Jourdain. Can he get to the first down? He crosses the first down marker and will move the chains for a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, you talk about the small victories, but what actually looked like it was going to be a 20-yard gain when that pass was first completed. That's how fast the Cougars kind of rectified the situation. Still a first down and a nice gain for Southwestern, but Canyons, they're quickly to kind of find Jourdain.
Yeah, back-to-back grabs for Jourdain, moves the sticks. Or looks far side, hits the 5-yard hitch, and the receiver gets past the first down marker. Back-to-back first downs for the Jaguars at their own 48 with 8:45 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, that's Jacob Rosar out of Bonita Vista. We saw him with a reception last week.
Rosar with his second grab on the season. Jourdain near side with Wright in the slot. Elliott's still the only back that has touched the field here today. He'll get the toss far side, gets upfield, and it looks like he'll get, I want to say, a first down, and he got tackled right at the first down marker.
Yeah,
and it looks like they're moving the marker, so back-to-back-to-back plays for the Jaguars, and they're in motion now in Cougar territory.
I'm excited. I think these fans should be as well.
8 and counting here in the first half. Jaguars still looking for their first touchdown, down 28. Jourdain and Wright near side, far side pass, and incomplete. A great break on the ball by Cox of the Cougars. Just jarred the ball loose. Good ball by Orr, but Cox got over there quickly. And
yeah, maybe just a little bit, thrown a little bit low, but it looked like it was going to be a completion in another game.
Jourdain guarded near side by Abdul, and the pass over the middle to Wright. And a nice 15-yard gain for another Jaguar first down. A flag in the backfield. Let's see the call. And we have a personal foul, roughing the passer. Tack on another 15. And the Jaguars will be inside the red zone for the second time today. Wright was tackled at the 27, so line of scrimmage will be the 12 for the Jaguars.
It just seems like Orr and his receivers are just more decisive. Run to the spot and get the ball to him. Not worried so much about hitting the man in motion anymore and awaiting the throws. Get it to him quick.
Wright looks near side, pump fakes. Jourdain in the corner, and that ball broken up nicely. Right there by the sophomore DB, Latif Adu, out of Van Nuys, California.
That was the winning play from last week, right, Bo?
In the same corner of the end zone. Same corner, same end zone.
And Jourdain, although the winning touchdown was a lot smoother, Jourdain still was looking to kind of come back and get that ball.
Yeah, well, that was well defended by Abdul Latif Adu. Didn't bite on that sluggo. 2nd and 10. Jourdain on the slant brings it in. Gets tackled at the 3-yard line. Nice grab by Jourdain. Adu got there as soon as Jourdain brought the ball in. And a 3rd and 1. Looks like a jumbo package for the Jaguars. Elliott in the backfield. And the Cougars defense doesn't like what they see, so they're going to call a timeout with 6:47 remaining in the second quarter. It's the Cougars 31, the Jaguars 3.
Yeah, I don't like what I see either if I'm the Cougars there. So now the Jaguars finally have us interested, right? The score has us a little bit uninterested, but to see this drive come off the way it has, like I said, it looks like for Orr now have those receivers run to the spot, turn around. A lot of the offense over the first quarter and a half, I would say, was trying to get the ball to players who were running and trying to hit them in stride. Let's just get them to the spot. They're turning around, hitting them nice and low, and that's why we're seeing the plays come to a quick end, but they're all right now 8, 9, 10-yard gains.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nail when you talked about the decisiveness of Orr. Looking much more comfortable with him and his receivers here in week 2. Elliott will get the handoff off the left side. Pushes the pile. No show yet of a touchdown.
I've got a bunch of...
I see almost 20 out of the 22 players in the end zone. All the Jaguars players throwing up the touchdown, and it will be a Jaguars touchdown. Way to push the pile right there. Elliott and that offensive line with the great push, and Jaguars with their first touchdown with 6:38 remaining in the first half.
Did we need a vote of the Cardinals there to come down and judge that he was in the end zone?
And I don't think the officials realized it was 31-3 at that point. Not that they got to give him a touchdown, but I mean, it was pretty obvious from our vantage point. But nonetheless, Jaguars with their first touchdown crossing the goal line with 6:38 remaining here in the second quarter, and a vote of confidence for that offense.
Yeah, Booth kicks the extra point. I'm not going to necessarily change my tune with my dour tone after that last touchdown by the Cougars, but that's exactly what Southwestern needed if they wanted to have any realistic chance of getting back in this game. Another key will be to allow no points the remainder of the first half. If they can get another score, that would be terrific, and then I will get back on the we have a game bandwagon. But until then, right now it's just a matter of, hey, get the ball back. One more possession in the first half.
Taquan Gilmore and Trevon Elliott for the Cougars back to receive the kickoff. Took the Jaguars 4 quarters in week 1 to score their first touchdown, and about a quarter and a half here today.
Yeah, and against I'll just say it, a much more respected defense.
Elliott on the return, crosses the 20 and is brought down at the 23. .6:31 remaining in the first half. Cougars 31, Jaguars 10 here on the Cali Photos Network. Your home for Jaguars athletics. I'm Bo Ferdig alongside my partner Ramon Scott, bringing you today's game here at Devore Stadium. Another beautiful day here in Chula Vista, California. Not as hot and toasty as it was in week 1, but nonetheless a nice summer day. A lot to do here in San Diego, obviously, but no better place to be than watching Jaguars football.
Yeah, just over the distance I can see the pool. There was a big water polo tournament, men's water polo tournament, Cesar Chavez tournament the last couple of days. All the teams were here, really.
Yeah, and a late substitution by the Cougars. Looked like they were missing a guy. And a receiver came on late. You really can't do that at the collegiate level. Maybe in flag football it would have been a nice play.
Oh, is there any chance that there's just a little bit of frustration in the Cougars, a little bit flustered?
I don't think so. I'm sure they have all the confidence in the world in their offense, but it is frustrating when you can't line up correctly in college football. 6:31 remaining in the first half still. Jaguars chasing 3 touchdowns. A stop and a score, though. Have them right back in the game.
No, and for me and probably you to watch this game and to see where it stands, there is frustration. You want to see a little bit more. But if I'm a player on the field right now, whether I'm on offense or defense for Southwestern, I'm a little bit rejuvenated despite trailing.
Three receivers near side. Gilmore, the outside receiver for Canyons. Zuel, the receiver next to Doyle. Doyle play fake. Looks deep. Has Gilmore. And just too far. Gilmore would have had the layout for that one. But once again, another Cougars receiver getting on the other side of the secondary of the Jaguars. I want to say that's the first incomplete pass we've seen from Doyle in a while.
Well, I thought it was pretty good coverage by Williams. I mean, Doyle really had to air that one out, and I'm not sure, even with the speed of Gilmore, that was ever going to be a completion.
Gilmore likes what he sees, trying to get up to the line quickly. Hands it off to Zuel, and I could see why. Zuel with a lot of open space, and first contact was past the first down marker. Nice open field tackle right there. Looks like by number 4, that's Sean Bryant of the Jaguars. Gilmore, the outside receiver for the Cougars near side.
New set of downs.
With Littleberry in the slot. Spread for Doyle, tries to draw the defensive line offsides. Good job by that front 4. Not falling for it this time. Jaguars rush 4. This will be a set run play for Doyle. And Doyle will pick up 5. That's 5 rushes for Doyle for 55 yards.
Jacob Buchanan on the stop from Las Vegas Centennial for the Jags.
Doyle was 7 for 70 in the first half of last week's game. He's 5 of 55 today, averaging 11 yards per carry. Doyle looks near side. Has his receiver, but can't connect. Overthrown was Littleberry. Well defended that time by the Jaguars secondary.
Yeah, 3 Jaguars shirts were there, and that just similar to the last long pass play. That one really had no chance as well. So great job by the Jags. Great coverage.
A much-needed third down stop right here for the Jaguars with the Cougars at their own 40-yard line. Spread formation again. Littleberry in the slot. Gilmore on the outside for the near side receivers. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. And we have a timeout by the Jaguars.
I don't know if there was something necessarily
I think they just didn't.
This is such an important play.
They just didn't have the personnel on the field. Both Donnell Jr. and Escano, yeah, I think both of them were not on the field on that play. So I think they just wanted to get their top corners back on the field for the big third down. Yeah, when you're facing a spread formation and your top 2 corners are standing on the sideline, that's not the position you want to be in for the Jaguars defense.
Third and 5 in the situation that they're in, it really gives the offense so much flexibility. When you're clicking, and I'd say that they're still clicking despite the nice job that the Jags have done over the last 6 or 7 minutes defensively.
Yeah, Scano back on the field near side, lined up with Gilmore. Looks like Jaguars coming in a man-to-man defense. Jaguars bring 5. Doyle, the out route to Little. And the incomplete pass brings up a 4th and 5. And it looks like the Cougars will come out for the first punt of the day.
Okay, Bo, so I'm cheered up.
Or second punt.
If they can get a result out of something here. I mean, there's still 5 minutes to go, so I'm not saying that this is going to be a final drive of the half. It'd be great if you could do that.
Davis back to receive the punt for the Jaguars. Big stop for that Jaguars defense with 4:55 remaining in the first half. Ball kicked to the far sideline. Looks like it went out near the 30. We'll call it the 35. That's where the Jaguars will start their next offensive possession with 4:48 remaining. Jaguars can get on the board here.
Okay, so
that will build a lot of confidence for this team.
Just a 25-yard kick. Yeah, that's not a terrible field position at all. With 4:48 to go in the first half.
So we've seen 6 quarters of this offense, and I want to say that last offensive possession was the best we've seen the Jaguars through, a game and a half. Let's see if they can build on that momentum here, down 31-10. Or rolls right, has some space, goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Looks like 2 flags thrown by the same official. I think initially it was a holding and then a late personal foul call on the Cougars defense.
Oh boy.
Possibly will offset and another first down, but we'll see. Official with his hat off, so he threw that first flag and threw another flag. That's why we don't see a cap on his head. So we have a chop block by the Cougars and chop block by the Jaguars, personal foul by the Cougars. And I think both of those fouls occurred during the play. So we'll see if they offset. It depends on when that personal foul call was made. And I want to say it was still made with Orr in the field of play.
Yeah, a bit of a bailout here for the Cougars. That was going to be a costly penalty if they were just assessed the chop block.
So they assess the yards on the chop block and a redo.
Now we're just like we're in a park on Saturday. Going to do a redo.
Yeah, usually a chop block is called when a defensive lineman is engaged with the offensive lineman and a second offensive lineman goes at the knees. Elliott, left side, has a lane, gets tripped up for a 4-yard gain. Had a lot of room if he didn't get brought down, if he was able to get to that secondary untouched.
Yeah, the Cougars were doing some nice pursuing, but that was definitely going to take the Jags into Cougar territory if he could have just got to slip by that one man.
I want to say that was number 5, Jonathan Thomas, on the tackle. 6'3", 242-pounder out of West Hills, California. 2nd and 6. Elliott this time off the right side. Good push by that offensive line. Elliott picks up a tough 3, bringing up a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I'll credit Eric Brendel in there, kind of leading the way for the Jags. So this is some good running by the Jags, I would say right now. 3:45 to go in the first half. Bo, now that penalty exchange is behind us, even if they can't score, just kind of run this clock out here.
I was thinking the same thing.
The game is manageable.
Yeah, Cougars can score so quickly. You'd like to see them bring that clock down at the very least. Pressure off the edge, and Orr goes down. Looked like 45 right there, off the edge. You wanna try that one?
Yeah, of course I do. It's Henry Ikehifo. Henry Ikehifo out of Paraclete High School, the sophomore, 6'2", 253. He was lightning there. That's what I'll call him.
Yeah, off the snap, he had the jump and the edge. And if they got a finger on him, it was a light one. I want to say he came in untouched off the edge.
I'll give him a Ikehifo also. Could be Ikehifo. Great play nonetheless.
And this one will be picked up by Gilmore. Has some space on the edge, cuts back, and will be brought down in Cougar territory, but a nice return by Gilmore brings it up to the 48.
Yeah, the ball was bouncing. He picked it up at the 25. He immediately beat 2 Cougars and was able to get to the outside. And only thing that really, he had to break it back up into the middle of the field. So I don't think he was going to outrace anybody. There was enough bodies there to get in the way, but it's still a nice gain. It's going to give him a chance. 2:25 to go, and they're starting at their own 48.
Yeah, good job by the Jaguars special teams not giving up on that play. You were hearing Peter on the opposite side. They didn't want anything to do with that.
It was a mistake. I think they had a chance to down the ball. I think they really did. It was bouncing high, but they still could have, touched it or grabbed it.
3 receivers to the top side. They'll go quick hit to Littles. And about a 5-yard gain, bringing up a 2nd and 5 for the Cougars. Yeah, make that number 9, Trevon Elliott, on the quick hit.
I think, if anything, I want to talk one more about that punt. Anytime you can at least touch the ball and change the direction of the ball, you can kind of prevent those, and it still kills the play if they don't get the run back. The ball will just be down. You don't need those extra 2 or 3 bouncing yards.
Doyle looks deep, has his receiver near side, and it's back-to-back grabs for Elliott.
Yeah, you could see how crisp that was performed by the Cougars, right? They had their man deep, but that wasn't the play at all. It was there. I mean,
it was the clear out.
Yeah, it was definitely an option there for him, but...
Yeah, Doyle was sitting in the pocket with no pressure.
And then getting an open man underneath 2 defenders.
2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Tries to draw the front off sides. Another good job by that front. Not getting drawn off. 1:45 remaining in the first half. Doyle looks near side, hits his receiver on the slant. That's Hunt, and he'll get tackled just short of the first down marker. 1:35 and counting.
Frazier with the stop.
Hunt, the single receiver near side. Elliott in the slot. Zuel in the backfield with Doyle. Doyle will hand it off to Zuel, who pushes the defender forward and will move the first down markers as he gets tackled inside the 15 with 1:08.
Alpha Sola, one of the Sola brothers, making the stop there. Clock continues to move. We got a minute to go in the first half. And a new set of downs.
Make that Muganda in the backfield for the Cougars. And this ball thrown on the flats. Did he bring it in? What a great grab and great concentration by Elliott. He now has 3 grabs on this drive alone. And the Cougars have no timeouts, so they're going to need to get up to the line quickly.
30 seconds and counting.
Doyle looks over the middle, has his receiver, and that's Littles for the touchdown.
Look, Bo, it's just a matter of being aware in your element. There was no sense of panic there. If there was any sense of panic, it might have been on the Jaguars' defense. They were set and ready, but the Cougars knew exactly what they were doing there.
And that's 4 passing touchdowns to 4 different receivers for Doyle, who spread the ball well today. And Morrison's extra point is good, bringing the score 38-10 with 26 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, I guess I was saying that's not what we wanted to have happen, right? If anything, on that last exchange, that last sequence of events, if we could have just taken the time and gotten that first down and got that clock to run, but with the Cougars and their ability to strike.
Gilmore had the 17-yard reception for the touchdown to start the scoring in the first quarter. And then at the end of the first, it was Zuel with a 10-yard grab to make the score 17-3 at the end of one. And then at the beginning of the second quarter, it was Andre Hunt with the 11-yard touchdown to extend the lead 24-3. Elliott had that 2-yard touchdown not too long ago, but Littles with the 12-yard score. 4th passing touchdown for Doyle, that's 7 touchdowns in both, 3 touchdowns in that first half of week 1 and 4 touchdowns in the first half of week 2. So in a matter of a full game, time-wise, Doyle has 8 total touchdowns, 7 passing. Oh, and that's not good for the Jaguars. And 1 rushing off the hands of the returner, and that ball will go out of bounds at the 2. I guess okay timing with 24 seconds remaining in the first half, as that was really an all-or-nothing play for the Jaguars.
Yeah. Fortunately for the Jags, they've got to kind of motor it up the gut a little bit or sneak it over. You can't really take a step back at that position. I guess you could. You're at the 3. And your opponent might be forgiving as well. But just to go from a 3-touchdown deficit to a 4-touchdown deficit.
Yeah, when they could have possibly brought it within 2 scores. Canyons was in this position last week and sat Doyle in the second half. We'll see what they do here in week 2, up 28. And we have some whistles. Looks like the Jaguars will just try to kneel this one to get it to halftime. And a delay game call, half the distance to the goal. So less room to work with. Or we'll just look to get some type of room. And that will all do it here for the first half.
Yeah, but well, good thing that the visitors' numbers do not illuminate on the scoreboard. Nobody wants to see that 3-8 on there right now.
Jaguars did get that touchdown, but the Cougars got 4 more than they did, and the score is 38-10 at the half here at Devore Stadium. We're going to take a quick break here on the Cali Photos Network. Stay tuned.
Boy, I think that I really could.
Right there. Right here. And thank you for staying with us here on the Cali Photos Network, the home of Jaguars athletics. At Devore Stadium, it's the Canyons Cougars 38 and the Southwestern Jaguars 10. I'm Bo Fertig alongside my partner Ramon Scott here on a beautiful Saturday evening here in week 2. Both teams came into this game 1-0. Obviously, Cougars with a much more impressive win in week 1, beating Antelope Valley 47-7, and they've really been as good as advertised, Ramon.
Yeah, and a lot transpired, really. I know we're looking at the scoreboard as a 4-touchdown game, but really the big thing that transpired there over the last few minutes, because Southwestern actually made some progress in the second quarter and got within, keeping the game within margin, staying in the game. But to have that sequence of events and end up giving up a touchdown in the last 4 minutes of the first half definitely took the wind out of
they definitely could have grabbed that momentum at the end of the first half, but instead of the Jaguars getting that momentum, it was the Cougars scoring in the last 25 seconds of the game. Littles and Doyle with the 12-yard connection, making it 38-10. Doyle, 4 passing touchdowns in that first half to 4 different receivers, Gilmore, Hunt, Zuel, and Littles.
Look, Bo, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, you're up against it, but really, that is the 3 and 4. I don't know, there's a lot of difference between 3 and 4 and 2 and 3. That's the one, especially when you're looking at a whole half, and we'll see. Like I said, the Jaguars can knock off some small victories here.
That Jaguars offense moved the ball much more efficiently at the end of that first half. We'll see if Orr comes back on or if Inman gets some run, and it looks like Stevie Orr, I think a little bit of it was just because of the offense was moving much better at the end of that first half, so they're going to see what Orr has in store. Oh, actually, no, this is not Orr. That is a right-handed quarterback. Orr is a left-handed quarterback. Brandon Smith.
Yeah, Brandon Smith, 6'3", 220-pound freshman out of Heritage High School in Menifee. So, get a look here.
Smith hands the ball off. And that running back, it looks like Elliott will be tackled behind the line of scrimmage to bring up a 3rd and 8. Brandon Smith seeing his first action here in 2021. The freshman out of Heritage, standing at 6'3", 220 pounds. 3rd and 8. Receiver in motion. And fumble, loses the ball, but picks it back up and gets past the first down marker for a first down. Nice heads-up play.
Well, sometimes the best laid plans.
Smith with Elliott on his right side. Smith looks far side. Rolls right, gets past the first defender, and will step out of bounds at the 42 for a 4-yard gain. So Smith creating with his legs here on this first drive.
Whether by design or necessity, right now he's enjoying himself, and I'm enjoying him as well.
Jourdain near side with Terry right in the slot. They'll go far side. Elliott on the pitch, and he'll step out right at the line of scrimmage marker. Looks like they'll give him 1.
Yeah, pitch running to the short side there.
They brought it back to the original line of scrimmage. Gained him nothing. Bringing up a 3rd and 6 at the Jaguars 42. Jourdain in right near side, right in the slots. Jourdain, the outside receiver. They look towards Jourdain. He was on the corner route, And once again, the pressure, that's number 45. We mentioned him a first time in that first half. Ikahia Hifo out of Lancaster, California.
And Jonathan Thomas as well there to help out. Not much doing for the Jags.
I'll bring on the punt team. After one first down for the Jaguars offense. And that's Littles. Gets to the outside, has one defender to beat, and he will go all the way for the touchdown.
62 yards.
Littles had a lane and went untouched for the 62-yard touchdown and the first special teams score of the night.
Did a lot of the work himself, but he did have some help from his blockers. Wasn't a prototypical punt return. He found his way.
Picked up some nice blocks near midfield. Got to the outside. And it was all but done for the Jaguars special teams as he put it in sixth gear.
Yeah, McElligott hit about a 34-yard kick. Coverage was fine, but once he got past that initial surge and had the initial space out near the 50, a couple of cuts and a couple of blocks, was able to find the left sideline.
Littles had that touchdown right before the first half ended, and that 62-yard return gives him his second touchdown on the night. With 11:47 remaining in the third quarter, it's Cougars 45, Jaguars 10.
Jaguars don't too often find themselves on this side of a lopsided score.
Kahanu Davis back to return for the Jaguars. Morrison, a perfect 6 for 6 on his extra points, and he had that 26-yard field goal earlier in the game. And that's Davis, gets it up to the 20-yard line. That's where the Jaguars will start their second offensive possession here in the second half.
Cougars special team tackle by number 43, Jeremiah Cox, out of Van Nuys, Birmingham.
Looks like Smith will come back on the field for the Jaguars. Elliott remains the running back. Surprised to see no other running backs touch the field thus far for the Jaguars. 3 receivers to the left of Smith. Smith has nothing. He'll roll left. Has some space to run. And he'll run out. We'll call it the 26 for a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, I think for Smith right now, Bo, it's look at your receivers, but I'm going to probably be running.
Yeah, it looks like the Cougars were in man-to-man defense. 3 receivers near side all went in, and corners followed him. But good pursuit once again by the Cougars linebackers.
And they're going to mark off yardage against the Jags. It looked like a face mask. And I don't mean that Smith is running by design. I just don't think he's going to see time right now. The game might be moving just a tad quick, and he might be giving the impression that he could be looking to throw, but he's looking for his space to run. Here he gets
Smith with the quick hit to Griffin, makes a couple moves, but the Cougars rally to the football. 4 helmets on the ball near side. And Griffin's first catch of the game.
Yeah, it's nice to see Rashad, the former Scripps Ranch star, with the reception there.
Jaguars have really not much height from the receivers. Griffin, their tallest receiver, standing about 6'2", 6'3". He's looking Griffin's way again. Has a receiver on the hash marks, but just outside the stretched arms of number 11. That's Dorsey, bringing up a 3rd and 10.
Awkward delivery there by Smith. Did get it down the field, but he had to kind of lunge forward.
Yeah, the footwork definitely wasn't there, but that's because he had Cougars on his heels.
These Cougars are coming so quickly, they're actually colliding into each other when they're making stops on the Jaguars.
Looks like Cougars are only going to bring 3. They bring 2 extra linebackers for 5 total, and Smith can't get to the outside.
That's Dylan Vredenberg. Was in there quick, wrapping him up. Wow.
Yeah, that 3-4 defense applying pressure on that far side, and Smith not able to get past Vandenberg with the big sack. Brings them down at the Southwestern 6. 10 minutes and counting here in the 3rd quarter.
Play had little time to develop. And look at how...
And a delayed game.
I was going to allude to, Bo, that the Cougar receiving core is down here at the 35-yard line of the Jaguars awaiting this punt.
That's Littles. His heels on the 37. They'll punt it away from Littles over to Elliott. Picks it up at the 43, and nice open field tackle by the Jaguars special teams.
And it hasn't been a great night for the Jaguars special teams, but that was the best of the night right there. Not only the punt by McElligott, but the coverage as well. Even though the Cougars are going to start at the Jaguar 40, did a nice job to get out of some real heat.
Nice open field tackle by Caden Herbert.
Thought that was McElligott's best kick, and it was deep and far and bounced off the shoulder pads of the return man.
And we have a backup quarterback for the Cougars. That's number 18, Ika Hiahifo. Must be the brother of number 45, Henry Ika Hiahifo. Great athletes. The Ika Hiahifo family has to be proud. We've seen Ika Hiahifo Henry off the edge. And a Jaguars sack. Combination of Jaguars.
Marcus Ramirez, the Mar Vista Mariner, the freshman, was in there leading the way. Maybe the play of the day defensively for the Jags thus far, to be honest.
Brings up a 3rd and 15 with just under 9 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Ika Hiahifo with the screen pass. Beautiful read. Read well by the Jaguars defense for the incomplete pass.
Savion Williams there to break things up. Good sequence here for the Jaguars. You mentioned, Bo, the strategy last week of the Cougars as far as bringing in the other quarterbacks that they had in the second half. So I think we're seeing the same thing here. I think that just a comfortable defensive effort from them can win this game from here, and they're going to get some experience. But in the meantime, the Jaguars will get the ball back with a stop. Turnover on a punt coming.
We saw Williams in week 1. Some great open field tackles, good reads, sideline to sideline, and another great read right there by Williams, creating a 4th down and a punt. Beautiful punt by the Cougars punter. Morrison has been really perfect on the night. 6 of 6 for extra. Oh, actually make that. Yeah, 6 of 6 for extra points. 26-yard field goal and has punted the ball really well today.
That was textbook right there.
Yeah, normally for a returner, you don't like to see him catch the ball inside the 10 or close to the 5, but just because that ball was punted so high and so well, whether he brought that ball in or not, it looked like it was going to be downed. 4 helmets around the ball.
Coverage was fine. You got to secure that punt sometimes.
Handoff up the middle. Didn't look like Elliott. It looks like another running back gets in the game for the first time other than Elliott.
Saw Carlos Fuentes pushing some guys around there for the Jaguars, the former Montgomery Aztec.
Dominic Anderson gets his first carry of the season, and a nice one at that, out of Fairbanks, Arkansas. And that was a screen set up for the Jaguars, but that D-line once again of the Cougars all over it. Dominic Anderson is 6'1", 190-pound sophomore. That incomplete pass brings up a 2nd and 10.
Patrick Gook, GUK, was number 58 in there, wreaking a little havoc.
Smith looks near side, throws it over in the flats to Terry Wright. A little too much juice. Unable to connect with Wright, brings up a 3rd and 10.
We saw Wright catch 8 passes in the game last week, Bo. He's definitely a possession receiver. He does have speed, but in this role, he's a possession receiver.
Smith, far side, tries to hit his receiver on the slant. That was Mason Wallace in the game for the first time from New Orleans. Unable to connect with Wallace, and that will bring up another 4th down for the Jaguars.
Riverside on top of Long Beach, 21-6. They're in the 3rd quarter. Fullerton leading Cerritos, 20-14. They're just starting the 4th quarter.
Littles and Elliott back to receive the punt, and a nice booming punt right there. The best of the day for the Jaguars. And the Cougars will start their next offensive possession at their own 32.
3rd-ranked Ventura closed out Mesa 49-21. Ventura scored 21 points in the 4th quarter to put that one away. Antelope Valley, talked about them being the opponent last week for the Cougars, and they're on top of Victor Valley 21-10. That one's early in the 3rd.
It's nice to see by Antelope Valley come back strong after a tough loss week 1. Southwestern will try to replicate that next week against Palomar. Quarterback keeper gets to the edge. Ika Hihifo steps out just short of the 1st down.
That'll take me back to the scoreboard, Bo, because Palomar tonight is losing to Golden West 24-3. They're early in the 4th quarter in that one. So,
do you know what Palomar did week 1?
Palomar won. Zeke Payne's the quarterback at Palomar, but they only have 3 points this week.
3 receivers near side for Canyons. Handoff up the middle. Shakes a tackle, gets past the 50 into Jaguar territory. That's number 32, Damon Banks, the 6', 215-pound freshman out of Van Nuys. Nice run by Banks, giving a stiff arm to a Jaguars defender. 7 and counting here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and you can feel the frustration by that Southwestern defense right there.
Banks still in the backfield. Fake to him. Ikahia Hifo falls forward for 2 yards. Second and 8 at the Jaguars 40. 3 receivers near side for Canyons. Ikahia Hifo with the snap, looks far side. Through the hands of his receiver. And the ball hits the ground. Sean Bryant had a beat on it, unable to bring it in. Bringing up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, you figure you'd like to get another chance at trying to pick that one off.
Do we have a turnover in this game? No.
No.
I mean, only 10 points on the board for Southwestern, but they haven't given the ball up. And the Canyons moving the ball well here today. Ikahia Hifo drops back. Pressure from the outside. Gets away from 2 defenders, makes that 3. Has a receiver downfield. And a great job by Ikahia Hifo getting away from those rushers, hitting Akil Andrews, the 6'3", 180-pound receiver, for the score.
Yeah, Andrews had 6 catches last week, the freshman from Pasadena. And, well, what can you say, Bo? The heat was coming that time from Southwestern. They did a really good job. It was just a great job by the quarterback to buy the time. And by that time, the secondary was a little lost. Man got behind. And it was a great job to find him.
Yeah, Ikahia Hifo slipped through 2 defenders and then used his legs to get away from another one. Created some time and space between him and the defender and found Andrews wide open for the long score. I'll make it 51-10.
Now Ed's out here talking to the officials about something.
Yeah, Coach Carberry's not happy at this point. A lot going wrong for this Jaguars team right now. Like you said, the pursuit was there. They got to the quarterback, but just an impressive play by the legs of Ikahia Hifo. And we even saw that run from Banks as well. This is considered the second team offense for the Cougars, but still impressive nonetheless.
All the Jaguar coaches trying to work together right now, especially on the defensive side for coordinator Monterez, Clyde Logan, Coach Galatas, Coach Williams. I know they're frustrated for these guys.
And Morrison, 7 of 7 on his extra points, brings the score 52-10 here on the Cali Photo Network with 6:09 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And the Cougars hitting on all cylinders right now offensively.
Yeah, impressive job by this quarterback. Moves well with the ball, and is able to deliver.
Yeah, we saw Doyle earlier, and he definitely has a motor and can definitely create time with his legs. And we even saw a few design runs earlier in the game. And Ikahia Hifo, 6 foot, 200+ pound quarterback, tough to bring down.
You can see the respect that Southwestern coaching staff gets from the players, down big time, but they're willing to come out and have a team huddle right there and still chatter it up a little bit despite what's going on.
And this one will be returned inside the 5. Christian Jourdain has a lane, gets to the outside. No late hit call. Looked like the returner was a couple feet out of bounds. Jaguars will start the next offensive possession right here at the 35.
Look, you're not worried now about the scoreboard. You can try to show your coaches you can keep your focus, keep your intensity, and keep playing within yourself on these plays. Not worried about the end result, just play by play.
Smith will hand this ball off. And a great open field tackle by number 13, Avi Harris, 6 foot 188 sophomore out of Santa Clarita. Bringing up a 2nd and 12.
Great job to get in there and knock the ball carrier off his feet.
Smith looks near side, hits Jourdain. Gets out of bounds at the 41 to bring up a 3rd and 4.
Look, Bo, this is a rough night, but just seeing what's happened with Palomar this evening and the fact that that game is going to be here, 2 of the teams from San Diego County. There's going to be a football game here next Saturday night, that's for sure. It's not going to be one-sided. Well, it might be in the favor of the Jags, but given the history of the 2 teams, we're going to have a good one here next Saturday night when the Comets visit Devore Stadium.
And that was Reggie Jones, the defensive end, batted that ball down. As far as linemen go, Jones had a big game last week. 6'2", 271-pounder, had 2 sacks and 2 tackles for losses. Also had a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. Another nice punt by the Jags. This one will roll to the 7 with 4:54 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
That's a 52-yard punt for Justin McElligott, so great job there.
It's nice to see him get stronger as the game goes on. Obviously, he's had a few more attempts than last week.
Yeah, and like I said, that 34-yard average. Coach Carberry actually singled out McElligott for his play in the field position game against Grossmont last week. Remember, the Jaguars had to end up doing a lot of punting from sort of in midfield in that game. So his average may have been held down a little bit, although his average was not high last year, but he's definitely, I think those first two punts that we saw from McElligott today were a little bit misleading of his effectiveness.
Moises Haynes with a nice gain, moves the chains. 5'10", 215 sophomore out of Santa Clarita. Gets it past the 15 up to the, call it the 19 for a 12-yard gain. Haynes stays in the backfield, 3 receivers near side for the Cougars. Single receiver top side. Haynes will get the handoff again. And the Cougars unable to get the push. Jaguars do a good job for tackle for loss.
Yeah, I've got Andrew Sola leading the way for the Jaguars there. 4 minutes to go in the 3rd.
Second and 11. And the far side receiver, I think he was looking to go deep.
That was the go route, the go early route.
Go, keep going, keep going, keep going. Two receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Moises Haynes in the backfield with Ika Hiahifo. And the draw to Haynes. Gets to the outside. Cuts back. Past the 50. Gets tackled inside the 45 at the 41. The best run we've seen here tonight And it was by the backup Moises Haynes, the sophomore.
Good run. I'm going to give the Jags defenders a little bit of grief there for their over pursuing of the back, but great job. Great move.
Yeah, Haynes, 215 pounds, moving well. He'll get the ball again, shakes a tackle, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, you're this late in the game, the last thing you want to do is tackle a 215-pounder that moves well.
Caden Herbert, Trey Treiler with the stop. Treiler had that interception, of course, last week for the Jaguars.
Ika Hihifo through the hands of his intended receiver. One thing I would like to mention is there's another good crowd here at Southwestern for the home team. Everyone's still hanging around. It's nice to see.
Lorenzo Perry, a little slow to walk off for Southwestern. He might have got dinged by a helmet of a Cougar player that was whistling by.
Jenkins was the intended receiver on that last pass. 2:28 remaining in the third. Haynes still in the backfield. 3 receivers top side. Ika Hihifo looks that way. Up the seam, off the chest, and that ball falls incomplete. Intended receiver number 7. Number 87, Hunter Koch, the freshman out of Santa Clarita. Nice ball. Hit Koch right in the numbers, just unable to bring it in. And the 4th and 10 will bring on the punt team for the Cougars.
Yeah, Hunter's going to want to watch this game back about as much as I'm going to want to watch this game back.
Especially as a Jaguars fan.
So the Cougars will force a punt. I'm sorry, the Jags.
Clock stops at 2:22.
Got my cats mixed up.
Another high booming punt. He's going to let that one roll into the end zone. Morrison, you talk about the offense, but Morrison has done a spectacular job on special teams, whether it be for the field goals or the punts.
That was good, but that was actually excellent special teams by the Jaguars to draw on the fair catch and allow the ball to bounce. The coverage team was ready to defend a fair catch. The return man stepped up, allowed the ball to bounce behind him, kept all of the special teams players of the Cougars with him, and the ball bounced in the end zone. Nice job, Jags.
Ball at the 20-yard line. Is this Inman? It is Inman, and he's brought down from behind. Or it might be Inman or their backup quarterback, Fuentes.
Well, it was the Akia Hifo show once again. That was Henry Akia Hifo.
I want to say his 3rd sack on the game.
With the sack.
Yeah, he's been a terror off the edge. And this looks like Inman. Both him and Puentes stand about the same height, both southpaws. And Inman steps out of bounds. So first time we've seen Inman today. Or second time, he came in earlier in the first half, but he just handed the ball off.
Right, well, that's why I asked you when we saw him. And just given the nature, I agree with you what you said about, giving Orr the chance. He's the one that made the winning play, right? And
right.
We definitely know that Inman had his struggles in the game. So I think both quarterbacks had their struggles in a way, but Orr was the one that connected with the clutch touchdown with it wasn't like a fluke play. It wasn't a Hail Mary. I mean,
No.
It was a well-thrown ball at the critical moment. So maybe he earned it. Now, I'm not saying that this game would be any different if Inman was in there at all, but he did not get his opportunity really to perform in this game when the game was, I don't want to say in question,
Right.
which was really maybe the first 20 to 25 minutes of the game.
Coming up on the minute mark here in the third quarter. 3rd and 4. This is a run call, and Inman is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Once again, Henry Hiahifo leads the charge for the Cougars, bringing up a 4th and 4. Henry Hiahifo playing lights out here today with multiple sacks and multiple tackle for losses. 6'2", 253-pound sophomore out of Lancaster. Another decent punt. Will go out of bounds at the Cougar 40 with 28 seconds remaining in the third.
Yeah, Henry was originally a Nevada signee, and it's easy to see why.
Right. No, he's been explosive. He's off the snap. He gets around that edge with the ball of fire.
He had a couple of dozen Division I offers, including UCLA, Notre Dame, so easy to see why he's been dominant on this field.
That's really one thing the Jaguars they don't have. They don't really have that big name other than Fuamatu, who we haven't really heard much from today. And that last run, another first down run by Samaj Freeman, the 5'11", 205-pounder out of Westlake Village. That will be the last play here in the third quarter. We're going to switch directions. And the score is the Cougars 52, the Jaguars 10. Here on the Cali Photos Network, your home for the Jaguars athletics.
Yeah, but while we got a moment, speaking of Jaguar athletics, women's volleyball picked up a victory last night against San Bernardino Valley 3-2. The ladies are 2-3 this season. They're going to host Miracosta on Friday, so go out and see Sierra Van Dusen, Natalia Tello, and Paige Timmons, part of the women's volleyball team.
And the fourth quarter will start at midfield. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. And a new quarterback to start the fourth. Bryce Bears, the 6'5" QB, hands the ball off. And another nice run by number 25, Freeman. Breaks a couple tackles and gets knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line for a 20-yard run.
David Ofoka out of Otay Ranch there, wrapping up near the sideline.
Bryce Bears standing at 6'5", 215 out of Millington, Michigan. Looks near side, nothing there. And a sack by the Jaguars. Looked like a broken play. And that was number 23, Jacob Buchanan, coming in free for the sack to bring up a 2nd and 16. Three receivers now to the top side for the Cougars. Freeman still in the backfield. Next to Bears. He'll hand it off to Freeman. And a tackle for loss once again by the Jaguars. We'll give number 49 some credit on that TFL. That was Marcus. I would say Marcus Ramirez, but looked like 48. It's tough to see these numbers for the Jaguars and their black unis. Quick hit to the Cougars receiver.
Yeah, Bo, as an aside, I don't know. My eyes are getting older, but these uniforms that are all over the place these days with dark numbers on dark jerseys, not a fan. And I love uniforms.
That was Gertch on the reception, unable to get back to the line of scrimmage. We're going to see a long punt here. Morrison's been perfect here today. This will be from 49. 7 for 7 on extra points. Hit a 26-yard field goal earlier in the game in the first half. Snap is good, and this looks like it's going to fall short.
Bo, back in 2016, Tooney and Henry hooked up for a 12-yard touchdown against Chula Vista Mater Dei. So that's going back a while. 5 years ago, they connected for a score. It was at Paraclete, but they did play Chula Vista Mater Dei.
Jimmy Inman will come back onto the field for his second offensive possession. See if he can get something going here with 12:32 remaining in regulation. Inman looks over the middle, has nothing, and he's going to try to elude some defenders. Escapes the pressure, and he makes a little something out of nothing. And that's just the magic that Inman can do that other quarterbacks just can't. Got away from two defenders.
Yeah, Kavod Agbalava came up and made the stop. And the play kind of looked funny because Inman was getting help from one of his teammates to try to escape, but it looked like he was trying to tackle him. He looked like in the roller derby when you try to throw your teammate ahead of the pack.
Inman turned a 10-yard sack into a 2-yard gain. Hits his receiver on the bubble screen. Gets near the 50. And once again, a group of Cougars bring him down.
They got the ball to Terry Wright.
Terry Wright. I want to say that's his first reception of the game.
And you get to see what Wright brings when you get the ball to him out there like that.
No, we saw a lot of bubble screens last week. We haven't seen too much today. Inman, near side, tried to pitch it, but once again, that pressure off the edge, just too quick. Inman unable to pitch it, and another tackle for loss for the Cougars.
Dixon with the stop there for Cougars. 11 minutes to go.
Inman up the hash, hits his receiver for the first down.
And once again, that is Wright finding himself in a spot, sitting down, making that reception.
Well, you know, when Inman was in the game, it was really Wright and Jourdain were his top targets. So Inman feeling comfortable with Wright. A nice pitch and catch for a first down at the Cougars 39. 10-20 and counting here in the fourth. Inman looks far side. He'll go deep. And nice coverage on the outside by the Cougars DB.
Yeah, Inman has to feel like he didn't get his chance to perform at a critical moment in this game, at least for longer than just a play or two. So I imagine that this series, even if he is facing not the starting unit of the Cougars, he still has to figure this is an important series for him.
Inman with three receivers on the far side of the field. He'll look that way. Over the middle, hits his receiver. And another first down for the Jaguars, tackled inside the 20-yard line.
And it's Wright again. Bo, Wright finding himself. Hey, good coverage there, and they were quick to get him down, but Wright right now getting open for Inman.
3 receptions on the night, all coming on this drive for Wright. He might have actually had 1 reception before this drive, but majority of his catches coming on this drive. 1 or 2 yards gain on that run, bringing up a 2nd and 8. Inman, 3 receivers to the right. He'll roll that way. Has to change course and is brought down by the big number 91. That's Devore Dinkson, 6'2", 280-pound sophomore out of Lancaster. Now under 9 minutes remaining in regulation.
Got a room service sack there for Dixon.
3rd and 15. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right of Inman. Inman will look to take off. Tries to get away from 1 defender, but unable to get away from the 2nd defender.
Yeah, Dean Miller, what an excellent play by Miller there. He actually, he lost the grip of the quarterback for just a split second and then lunged again to re-grab him.
And then had the help from Patrick Guck, the 6', 225-pound linebacker out of Poland. It's nice to see some international players on Canyons get some big plays here today, get some playing time. Well, we had a player from Germany, player from Poland. And I want to say there was another player outside of the U.S. Oh, it was Muganda, the running back from Canada. Ball sitting at the 30 for the Jags. Looks like a field goal attempt. I want to say it's Booth.
It is indeed.
This will be a 46-yard field goal. Yeah, we'll call it 47.
Well, we know this is within his range.
He hit a 50-yarder last week, 51 50-yarder.
Booth is 24 years old out of Torrey Pines High School.
Kick looks like it has the distance. Off the uprights, no good. Definitely had more than enough. That could have been good from 55.
Yeah, hit the left upright, a few yards up. Disappointing result for a good kick.
And the clock stops at 8:11. It's the Cougars 52, the Jaguars 10. Here on the Cali Photo Network, I'm Bo Fertig alongside my partner Ramon Scott. Kevin Baird doing the camera work here at Devore Stadium.
We are coming back next week for sure.
We will be
rectify this situation.
We will be here. Big game against Palomar. Looks like Palomar is going to get the L this week after having an opening week win just like the Jaguars. So both Palomar and Southwestern, 2 local teams, will come into week 3 1-1. That should be a great matchup. It'll be interesting to see whether Coach Carberry goes with Orr or Inman in week 3. Obviously, Orr had that game-winning touchdown in week 1, but you just see Inman with his legs, his dual threat ability, just adds more of a presence as a quarterback. And unable to bring down Bears, gets rid of it quickly before he's brought down.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that it was in the plan that Inman didn't get as many reps in this game. I just think that when Orr was in there and the game kind of phased away from the Jaguars, and so now when Inman is getting his shot, the game is out of reach.
Right.
So,
yeah, and I am not saying you're saying one way or another. I think they played it about as good as they could here today, but unfortunately just caught themselves against a really good Cougars team.
Yeah, so Golden West does wrap up the game against Palomar. Palomar scores only 3 points tonight. So, to think Palomar, they did score plenty of points last week. I want to say it was 31-7. They played Victor Valley, and with them coming in here, seeing that maybe they just scored 3 points against a Golden West team tonight, I think you're going to be looking at a game that, I'm not saying similar to the game against Grossmont, but just you're going to see a tightly contested, lower scoring game between the two teams.
Jourdain back to return the punt. Another booming punt by Morrison, and Jourdain with the fair catch at the 38.
So Southwestern is going to be 1-1. Mesa is going to be 1-1. Palomar is going to be 1-1, and Grossmont is 0-1 in the teams in San Diego County.
Yeah, you often hear the LA versus San Diego battle, and the Cougars definitely got the best of this one, coming from LA County out of Santa Clarita. Up to 5, about a couple hours north.
Riverside knocked off Long Beach 24-6.
Inman back in the game for the Jaguars, 6:43. Hill handed off the right side. Gets tackled just short of the 50.
Yeah, that's David Jazzo out of Mater Dei.
How about that? Nice to see Jazzo on the field. Big time running back out of Chula Vista, 6'1", 215-pounder. Inman fakes the handoff. Fall forward for a 1-yard gain, coming up on the 6-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Second and 9. Two receivers to the left, to the right. Inman will come near side. Toss it to Jazzo. Unable to wrap up was that initial defender. Jazzo broke that tackle and got up near the first down marker.
Max Begley, number 40, came in with a hit.
That should be a first down. They haven't moved the markers yet, and the head official is signaling a first down. 5:30 and counting. Same formation. Same play. Inman will pitch it to Jazzo. And another nice 8-yard gain for Jazzo as he gets going here in the fourth quarter.
And again, Bo, just allude to it. I mean, this is a blowout, but look, the Jaguar bench is engaged. They're the ones making, those are them making those noises when the hits are being made right now. So,
Inman fakes the handoff, spins away from a defender, but brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Was there a face mask or was he horse collared? The flag was thrown near the tackle.
Angel Vasquez was number 59 in there, making the stop.
Yeah, it looks like a horse collar was called.
Okay.
Tack on 15 from the tackle. That will take the ball to the 21. Southwestern had 10 points in last week's contest. They have 10 points here with 4:44 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Inman hands it off to Jazzo off the left side. Had a lane, but a great open field tackle by the Cougars corner. Looked like that corner was engaged on the block, but got off the block and great open field tackle. It looked like Jazzo had some space off that left side, but only picked up 4. Bringing up a 2nd and 6, coming on the 4-minute mark. Inman looks over the middle, nothing there. He'll tuck, roll right, has a receiver in the corner to the end zone, out of the end zone. Clock stops at 3:53.
Yeah, there was plenty of coverage back there for the Cougs. It's going to take a perfectly thrown ball and an extraordinary effort to come up with a touchdown there. Good job, though, by Inman to buy time. Give himself a chance to make a play.
Handoff right side. Great pursuit by the Cougars defense once again, bringing up a 4th down. Inside 4 minutes here in the 4th.
Canyons take a 2nd consecutive victory back up to Santa Clarita tonight.
Scored 47 in the opening week and has 52 here in week 2. 4th down for the Jags. Inman looks far side and overthrows his receiver. Now we'll bring the Cougars back onto the field with 3:13.
Yeah, Canyons was ranked 7th coming into the week. San Mateo was 1st. Riverside was number 2. Ventura was number 3. We talked about Ventura tonight. Modesto number 4. San Francisco City College 5. But a lot of times these Southern California teams, the poll is the poll, but sometimes the Southern California teams, when you talk about the full poll, maybe a little underrated. They give those Northern California teams a little bit of respect. They're good teams. Mesa came in this week 16th in the poll.
That's Austin Garcia in the game for the first time today. 6'2", 160-pound freshman out of Santa Clarita, a local kid for the Cougars. Picks up a gain of 3. So small victories, right? We saw a lot less flags this week, which is an improvement.
Yeah. Well, and Southwestern was penalized less than Grossmont last week. They were penalized less yardage tonight than the Cougars.
We saw the offense move much more smoother, much more efficient than I would say in week 1.
If you compare the fact that they were going up against a defense, Grossmont had a great week. Grossmont did a great job.
Right.
But still, Canyons is going to be a tougher team. So given the progress that the Jaguars, I'd say there was actually an offensive progress here tonight.
Roll out right. Has a receiver near the 1st down marker, unable to complete it. And that will bring up another 4th down for the Cougars.
It's just that the Jaguars didn't get a chance to get any offensive rhythm at all.
Until it was too late, really.
And that's a credit to the Cougars, no doubt.
Yeah, it's only week 2, but definitely the best offense we've seen so far. Maybe one of the best offenses we'll see all year. Hopefully for the Jaguars, that's the case. Morrison with a beautiful punt. It's about as good as a throw as far as spirals go. It was a nice tight spiral, booming kick, good distance, good height. You know, not that this offense needs to be any more productive, but when you have a kicker that can flip the field like that, just helps out the defense that much more.
You know, Coach Carberry in some post-game comments, we pointed to that last week. If you remember specifically, Bo, within the first quarter when Southwestern flipped the field on Grossmont, he thought that was the key. Did you say there's someone from Canada on the field? Because I just think we just ran a Canadian Football League play. Everybody was moving there. But what Carberry said was he thought that punt early on in the game with Grossmont when they flipped the field was actually one of the key plays of the game. And when you're talking about a 10-7 game, I can see where he was coming from on that.
We have another quarterback in the game for the Jaguars. He'll roll right. Has a receiver near side, unable to complete it.
Yeah, he was trying to get it over here to Tim Christopher, the former Helix Highlander.
So we saw Brandon Smith in the second half. Inman came in for a couple drives and Smith back in. 2:10 remaining in regulation. Smith crosses the 45, gets tackled at the 47. Nice lead block by the running back.
That was Victor Omaradian making the stop, another international product from Germany.
Dominic Anderson with the lead block on that last play. Brandon Smith rolls right, doesn't have anything. He'll just throw it away. Bringing up a 4th down.
We might be playing out the string here on the last few possessions, but there was no quit in these reserves of the Cougars. They took that play very seriously. And it was great coverage. Minute and a half to go.
Another nice punt. Down at the 20-yard line of the Cougars.
Yeah, much better half. Other than a missed field goal, which was off the upright and a long kick, better second half for the special teams of the Jaguars.
Yeah, thank you for staying with us here on the Cali Photos Network. We'll be back with you next week here at Devore Stadium as the Jaguars take on Palomar for Week 3 action. 6 p.m. kickoff.
Yeah, like I said, if Palomar comes in, they only scored 3 points tonight. It's got Zeke Payne. Was the quarterback last week. Haven't seen what happened tonight, but I think that plays a little bit into the Jaguars' hands next week. Should be a great game. And Jaguars are going to lose a little bit of momentum here. They're ranked 24th coming in. They're a better team than Palomar, and they will be at home. But a good game with a good series, a good rivalry between those two teams.
Garcia as the quarterback for the Cougars. He'll hand the ball off. Got to stay in bounds, and once again they run out of bounds.
Bo, they can't hear you actually from up here.
Dorian Mitchell 5'10", 205-pound running back.
He said, if I run out of bounds, I can get another carry.
And it looks like the officials are about as ready as we are. They kept the clock rolling. Under a minute remaining here.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry. Couldn't have more fun than we had last week.
Yeah. Canyons definitely lit up the scoreboard. It's a much different type of game than we saw last week. Defensive battle.
Yeah, but I guarantee you we're going to have a lot more fun next week. I think we can get a victory, but we'll have much more fun. We're going to have a much more competitive football game with the Palomar Comets. Great job by Canyons. They're going to be doing some big things this season. Big victory as far as the margin is concerned here. Southwestern saw a good club tonight. There's no doubt about it.
And the final, Canyons 52, Southwestern 10. Canyons improved to 2-0. Jaguars dropped to 1-1. We will see you next week here at Devore Stadium. Kickoff at 6 p.m. For our cameraman, Kevin Bear, and my partner, Ramon Scott, I'm Bo Furtick saying thank you for staying with us here on the Cali Sports Network. Good night.